The 911 call was placed at exactly 2:17 a.m. The woman on the other end whispered, "They're inside, they're dressed like cops." Then silence. When officers arrived minutes later, the front door was wide open and 3 people were dead. But what made this case spiral into infamy wasn't just the brutality of the murders. It was what came after. Evidence that disappeared. Witnesses who went missing. And a chilling question that still haunts the town of Pine Haven. What happens when the killers wear a badge? Pine Haven, Mississippi, a sleepy town with a population just shy of 9,000. It's the kind of place where everyone knows everyone. The air smells like pine, and the local diner knows your order by heart. But beneath the surface of this tight-knit southern town were whispers, rumors of corruption, racism, and secrets that went back decades. The victims were the Dawson family. Marcia Dawson, 38, a beloved nurse and single mother. Tyrell Dawson, 17, a high school basketball star with a scholarship offer from LSU. Naomi Dawson, 9, who loved to paint and had just won a regional art competition. They lived in a modest brick home on the outskirts of town, just a few blocks from the county line. Marcia had worked at the local hospital for nearly 15 years and was known for taking double shifts to support her children. On the night of October 3rd, 2022, their house was silent. No sign of struggle. No broken windows. The only thing out of place? The front door was slightly ajar, and the television was still playing the Jeffersons reruns. Inside, first responders found a chilling tableau. Tyrell was shot execution style, slumped over his desk, still wearing his headphones. Marcia was found in the hallway, as if she'd been running toward Naomi's room. She had 2 gunshot wounds, one in the back and one to the chest. Naomi was in bed, covered neatly with her blanket, shot once in the head. No forced entry. No robbery. Nothing missing, except Marcia's cell phone. But here's the first twist. The security camera footage from a neighbor's porch, directly facing the Dawsons' home, was erased. Not damaged. Not corrupted. Erased. And the 911 call never entered into the official police log. Detective Daniel Reese was put on the case. A 20-year veteran of the force, known for his no-nonsense approach. Reese, who was only 6 months from retirement, initially thought it might be a gang hit, but it didn't fit. Tyrell wasn't affiliated. No drugs. No enemies. Then came the anonymous tip. Asked about Officer Jennings. Asked what happened in 2017. Jennings was a patrol officer suspended briefly in 2017 after a civil complaint was filed by Marcia Dawson, accusing him of excessive force and racially charged threats during a traffic stop. The case was quietly dismissed. Record sealed. Jennings returned to the force within months. When Detective Reese tried to pull Jennings' personnel file, he was denied access. The file had been marked classified internal. Reese pushed harder, and suddenly he was pulled from the case. The new lead investigator, Lieutenant Brian McClellan, had a reputation for towing the department line, and under his leadership, the case stalled. But Reese wasn't done. He began investigating off the record. Several suspects emerged. An ex-boyfriend of Marcia's with a history of domestic abuse. Cleared. He was out of state with an airtight alibi. A jealous teammate who lost his spot to Tyrell. Also cleared. A rumored drug dealer Tyrell allegedly knew. No real connection. All red herrings. Meanwhile, Reese uncovered something disturbing. Officer Jennings' body cam log showed he had patrolled the Dawson neighborhood 5 times a week before the murders, unusual for a part of town with virtually no crime. Then a break. A former dispatcher came forward under the promise of anonymity. She revealed that a second 911 call had come in that night, from a neighbor, reporting 2 men in police uniforms walking into the Dawson home. That call was never entered into the log either. Reese confronted Jennings directly. The officer denied everything. Hours later, Jennings was found dead in his garage. Suicide, the official report claimed. But Reese had doubts. Jennings' laptop was missing, and his phone had been factory reset. Now, the question wasn't just who killed the Dawsons, but why was someone working so hard to bury the truth? Reese uncovered archived texts from Marcia to friend. She'd been documenting multiple incidents of police harassment, claiming she was being followed and even feared for her son's life. But the real bombshell came when Reese spoke to a retired officer who used to work in internal affairs. According to him, there had been an off-the-books operation in 2017 involving street cleanup, targeting black residents under suspicion. No warrants, no arrests, just intimidation tactics. Marcia had filed a formal complaint. She was the only one who did. She had to be silenced, and someone made sure of it. The pieces fell into place. Jennings and at least one other unknown officer had entered the Dawson home under the guise of a welfare check. But when Marcia recognized them, they couldn't let her live. The FBI quietly opened an investigation in early 2023, following growing media pressure and an independent journalist's explosive article titled Badge of Silence. Dozens of records were subpoenaed. Body cam footage on the night of the murder, previously marked unavailable, was suddenly found but heavily redacted. One frame showed the reflection of a second badge in the Dawson hallway mirror. That officer? Never identified. No charges have ever been filed. Detective Reese retired. He now runs a blog under a pseudonym, continuing to post updates about the case. The Dawson family's home was demolished in 2024. In its place stands a community mural with Tyrell's jersey number and Naomi's final painting. Justice wasn't just denied in Pine Haven, it was erased. But stories have a way of resurfacing. And if you listen closely to the cracks in the system, sometimes the truth seeps through. The question isn't whether the killers wore a badge. The question is, how many people helped them hide it? If you or someone you know has information about the Dawson family case, contact the anonymous tip line at justicefordawsons.org. And if you believe justice shouldn't stop when the badge is flipped, share this story. Because secrets may bury the truth, but they don't erase it.